Hi everyone, welcome to Body Empowerment. For today's episode, I'm going to answer a question from a viewer, Amanda. Amanda, thank you so much for your wonderful question. Here it is. I've recently been recovered from an eating disorder not otherwise specified for 8 months now, and I've hit a bit of an impasse. My therapist and I have been discussing healthy recovery routines and how to promote healthy self-care by intuitively eating well, sleeping well, and intuitively exercising. The hardest part about taking care of myself is my hectic schedule. I'm a teenage girl in high school, and so sometimes I find myself without sleep, eating mindlessly, not intuitively, and not having enough energy to move intuitively. During these hectic times, I've noticed that I've gained weight because my clothes fit differently and I look differently in the mirror. My thoughts during these times also tend to spiral back towards dieting or disordered thoughts about food. How do I stop thinking about my weight gain and stop thinking about dieting and initiate proper self-care even during these times? Amanda and everyone out there, including myself, with whom this resonates, this resonates deeply. I am not a teenager in high school. I'm 29 years old. I've been out of college and grad school for many years now, and I still feel that. And the timing is always quite profound with viewers' questions. So for me, I'm totally exhausted right now. And I say that to be honest, in that, my eyes feel heavy. I don't feel like I got a good night's sleep. I'm very busy and everything is super hectic in my life right now. And so moving intuitively, eating intuitively, sleeping intuitively are much more challenging at this moment. There are a few key words I want to offer for support. And this is how I get myself through these challenging times. And I don't want to feel like doomsday, Amanda, or anyone in high school or college who's like, this is the busiest time of my life. I can't wait till it's over. Life can be really busy. So these are the 3 words I want to offer: breath, permission, and temporary. Use your breath to get back to the moment. When we have really hectic schedules and times in life, we get totally lost in the schedule and we forget about the moment. And then we end up focusing on things like our body size and our body image and if we feel like we've gained weight. And when we go back to the breath, we remember, when we go back to the breath, we give ourselves permission to know that this is temporary, right? That any weight gain one might be experiencing as a result of such a hectic, overwhelming schedule is temporary. It's the body sort of responding to stress, right? And when the body can let go of that stress, so too will anything that is not natural for it. And so in addition to giving ourselves permission to know that this is temporary, once we take a breath, we also have to give ourselves permission to not be perfect. And one thing that I found really hard early on in my recovery, so I know our viewer said it's been 8 months now in recovery. So I found really challenging around like year 1, 2, 3. I thought that my being recovered meant that I would be perfectly recovered. And you can still be recovered or in recovery, whichever terminology feels right for you or that you and your mental health professional and support system have come up with. For me, that's saying I'm recovered. It's not perfect. There are going to be times when your thoughts feel not so great. And that is typically in times of extreme stress or mental challenge or depression. And so giving yourself permission to not be perfect in where you're thinking is really important. And as long as you're not engaging with eating disorder behaviors and symptoms, that intuitive movement, sleep, and eating that gets challenged during times of extreme stress and hectic schedule-ness is totally challenged. And so I have found giving myself permission to know that that's going to happen is really okay. And And again, reminding myself it's temporary. I know that feels really like a bunch of abstract strategies, but they're really helpful. And just knowing, that age-old sage-like phrase, this too shall pass. When I am totally running around like a chicken with my head cut off, crazy schedule, which to me is more often than not, I just, I take a lot of deep breaths. And I give myself a lot of permission to remind myself that even the stress is temporary, even if every day and week is hectic. Not every moment has to be. And I think that's what's really important in times like that, is breaking it down to the moment. So if anytime you can take a moment to breathe deeply, it'll be so much easier to eat intuitively. Anytime you can take 2 moments to breathe deeply, it'll be so much easier to hear your body say, we really want to sleep right now. And your body will win. Win over the schedule. It's about finding moments to let your body be louder than your schedule. Amanda, thank you so much for an amazing question. I look forward to hearing other people's thoughts and ideas about this. Please feel free to comment, share where you're at with this as well. Again, I started this episode saying I'm totally exhausted. And it's 9 in the morning and I went to bed at midnight. And I just I don't know if my body if I had taken a few extra breaths to really listen to my body, probably would have gone to bed at 11. But I didn't. And you know what? I'm going to give myself permission today to be really tired, even though I have so much work to do, and make sure that I take some breaths so I can make some really healthy, intuitive eating decisions, because that's how I eat, sleep, and move as well, intuitively. And so today's a day where a lot of breaths and a lot of permission. Thank you, everyone. I will see you next time, April 15th. And in the meantime, please subscribe to my channel and check out past episodes. Thanks, everyone.